How's it going, everybody? Who I have here, who you're going to hear on the phone, is Larry Williams. This is the gentleman that you all helped to raise money for last night. And he's kind of excited about that, kind of appreciative, but he wants to tell his story of going with U.S. carriers. How you doing, Larry?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. So you reached out via the internet and said, hey, because you saw that there was a contract thing going on where we were looking at a contract and none of us really agreed with it, and you said, I got a situation here and I need to reach out to somebody and talk to somebody, and so you did, and we're here now. So why don't you tell us where this all started?
It all started, I had been home for a long time because my wife had went through the cancer thing, and actually we're still kind of going through it. She still has to go to the doctor and be checked, make sure it's not coming back, and all that good stuff. But anyways, I was looking around, and I had, I watch YouTube, and I watch YouTube videos, and I came across the RVT guy, and I started watching his stuff, and he was talking like this company he was working at was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about all the miles he was getting, the money he was getting, and how you could run team and all that. So I basically, he said something about going to his website, and all the information would be on there.
Okay.
So I went to that website, and I got their number, and I called like they said to do and all that. Well, anyways, they got back with me. Long story short, they ran all my stuff. I was good, obviously, and I told them, I said, look, I haven't worked, and it's been a long time. It was a year, a little over a year, because, of the deal with my wife, and that cost me a lot of money because, being a wrestler before, we don't have insurance.
Right.
I mean, it's like, I guess what you call independent contractor. It's about the same thing. There's no insurance. There's no nothing. I mean, everything I paid for, except for like flights and stuff like that. But everything else, medical, anything else, I paid for out of my pocket. So I had built up a nest egg, for us, not expecting ever for anything to happen to my wife.
Yeah.
And it did, and it just devastated me. And I told these people before I went, I said, look, I am broke. I am so broke. I have enough money to maybe get there, and that's it. That's all I have. And they said, oh, no problem, no problem. Come on. If you need any help, we'll help you. So I get there. The minute, and this is crazy because, and I'm going to refer everything back to wrestling because that was my life. I lived that life. That was my life, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My intuition, my feelings when I walked in that place was, man, something ain't right. I don't feel right. So is something wrong? And I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. All I knew is what I'd been hearing, and everything was great. So anyways, I go in there, and this guy comes up to me out in the parking lot, and he says, hey man, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm the operation manager here, and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we go inside, and the first thing he does is he hands me this. He said, we got to do some paperwork. At this point, I knew nothing about a contract, not anything about a contract. Nobody ever mentioned a contract. And I thought about this afterwards, and I went back and I watched that dude's videos, and he never mentions anything about a contract. So anyways, when I get there, we go in there, like I said, and he hands me this great big contract thing and a bunch of other paperwork. Well, I mean, obviously you got to fill out paperwork, right?
Yeah, sure.
When you go in somewhere, but I had no idea that I was going to be handed this big contract. And so I started thumbing through it, looking at it, and I went, whoa, wait a minute, this is crazy, man. I mean, you get fined for everything. I mean, do I get fined for driving on a lot when I'm not supposed to? I don't know. I mean, this is crazy.
You're talking about Section 19 on the contract.
Right. And there was some other stuff in there, too, on some other pages. Like,
yeah.
I'm thinking there was, that mentioned something about fines and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't do this. And I went over there, and I told the guy, I just took the whole contract, went over there, laid it down on his desk, and I said, hey, man, I can't sign this with all these fees and stuff on here, these fines. And his words to me at that point was, oh, hey, man, don't worry about that. He said, we don't enforce any of that stuff unless you do it excessively.
Okay.
I said, okay. I go, but still, man, I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't want to hear, well, if you don't sign it, man, we can't hire you. Well, here I am. I live in Florida, and I'm up there in the Carolinas, and I had just spent every dime I had to get to them. And there was no way that I could get back, and I knew that. So I kind of felt like I was in a position to where I had to do something. I mean, I either had to sign it and go to work or live in my van in the Carolinas. I didn't know what to do, you know?
Right.
So I signed it, and we went through like a, I don't know, I'm not even going to say orientation because there was no such thing as an orientation. They put me at a table in a room. They took off, went their separate ways, whatever, told me to fill it out, and I was done, bring it back. So I did that. They explained nothing. I mean, nothing. They want you to put an app on your phone to do your logs. They did not explain that. They explained nothing.
So basically, walk in, sign this piece of paper, and we're going to put you in a truck.
Basically.
As long as they get your signature.
Well, not basically. That was the way it was. And then, anyways, they tell me the truck, right? So I go out to the truck, look at the truck, and put my stuff in it, and they give me a load. All right?
Okay.
Now, this was on a Friday. This load does not pick up until, I believe it was Saturday by noon. Yeah, Saturday by noon. And it was like in Hendersonville, I believe. Is that the name of the town there?
Might be Henderson, North Carolina.
Right, okay. And it was like only like 110 miles away, maybe something. It wasn't that far. But anyways, so the next morning, Saturday. Mm-hmm. Now understand, before I went up there, understand this is very important. Before I went up there, I told them I had to come back to Florida for a personal reason, which had to do with my wife. They didn't need to know why. I just told them that. I had to come back to Florida because I did, okay?
Okay.
And they didn't ask me to get specific with them on why or nothing. And then, and I told them it was a personal reason. And they said, no problem, man. We will get you a load going from here to Florida, or we'll let you go. We'll get you something you can go down to Florida and then take it on to deliver it.
Yeah.
That's very important because that's what they told me flat out.
Who was it that you told that to?
The operation dude and the lady that owns the place. What's her name?
Tatiana,
or whatever it is, yeah. And the girl dispatcher that I had.
All right, so you told 3 people that you needed to go back.
3 people knew this, and 3 people were looking for a load for me to do this with, okay?
Okay.
So anyways, like I said, Saturday came, and I went over there to pick this load up by noon. I get there, they don't even have a product. So I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting, and it was like 6, 7 o'clock maybe before they even got me loaded. And I told the dispatcher that, and she said, okay. I said, okay, well, I'm headed to Florida, and I'll get back with you tomorrow. She said, okay.
Okay.
Nobody ever says do not go by your house at this point. Nobody ever said, and I mean, it didn't load out till 6 or 7 o'clock. I figured they knew what was going on and everything. I figured everything was good because nobody told me any different. Nobody said a word.
Okay.
So I came home. I got home at like, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 Sunday afternoon. I forgot what it was. It was in there somewhere. It was Sunday afternoon. I wasn't even home 24 hours. I told them I was going to stay the night at my house anyway, but I wasn't even home 24 hours. But anyways, the next day, they're saying, hey, you got to go. Why'd you go home? I said, dude, you told me I could go home. And they were like, yeah, but it's late. I said, you knew that. And he goes, well, you gotta go.
Okay.
Then they started, I don't know if they said it was somebody started blowing my phone up. I guess it was a broker. He said he was a broker. I don't know that. I have no idea. Yeah, but he calls me like 30, 40 times.
Probably a
And
broker.
do what now?
That's probably a broker.
Yeah, and anyways, during this bunch of calls that this guy was blowing my phone up, one time he asked me something that if I would do something for him that wasn't really legal. But anyways, I said I wouldn't, and I texted him back to that effect. I got the load to Dallas, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I dropped it. I go to a truck stop. Okay, well, now understand, when I drop this load, they leave me sit out in the parking lot of the place where I dropped this load for 2 hours, 3 hours, until security come out there and told me, hey, you got to go, man. You can't sit here all day. And I said, well, what am I doing? I called them. I said, what am I doing? Wait, this guy's telling me to leave. We'll just go to a truck stop. I said, I asked you that 2 hours ago, and you told me to sit tight where I was.
Yeah.
Anyways, I go to the truck stop.
With the trailer? Loaded?
And do I not? No,
You were done.
I'm empty
Okay.
at this point. I go to the truck stop. And I'm sitting there in Dallas. I was right outside Dallas. And they said, my friend, okay, I have a really good friend. I don't know if everybody knows who Jerry King Lawler is, but his son and I were really good friends. I wrestled with him a lot when I was younger, and he had just passed away. And I told this company that. I mean, he passed away while I was there at this company. I mean, it's all over the internet. You can see he had got put in jail for DUI, and they say, and I'm just going to leave it at that, they say that he hung himself in jail, but that's an ongoing thing there, the investigation. I'm not even going to get involved in that. But anyways, that had happened during this time. And I said, look, man, I would love to. And I said, if I can, I would love to be able to get a load that's going back up through Memphis and through that area up 55 towards St. Louis, so I could go by and, at least pay some respect, and maybe if I could even go to the funeral. And they said, okay, man, we'll try to get your load doing that, blah, blah. They look around, they tell me, no, we can't, but you know what, here, tell you what we're going to do. There's a load in Texarkana that's going to Kentucky, and it comes across that way. Where you're wanting to go is only 125 miles out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We had no problem with that. We'll allow you to do that. We had no problem with that at all. Do that. Do what you got to do. You can go and deliver this load. I said, great. That's fine. I'll do that.
Okay.
So anyways, I go to Texarkana to pick this load up. I get there. I go to get the load, and the woman tells me, hey, this load's 4 days late. I said, wait a minute. I just got this load.
Yeah, I know how that works. Yeah.
I said, I just got this load. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I'm not 4 days late because I drove straight from when I got this thing from Dallas to here. And then she said, no, it's 4 days late. And if you want to pick it up, we're going to charge you $100.
Wait, was the company brokered for that load first? I mean, were they supposed to pick that thing up 4 days ago?
When I went to pick the load up, told me, that lady that works the window,
Uh-huh.
told me, if you want to pick this load up, it's going to cost you $100.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not giving you $100. I don't have $100. And she goes, well, you better get with your company. I said, okay. So I go out there and I tell them, and they act like they're not surprised. Okay, these people are not surprised. They didn't tell me this load was 4 days late before I went and picked it up. They don't act surprised and stuff. And then they say, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an EFS check for that $100, and you give her that. I said, okay.
Was this an Americold load?
Right, exactly.
I hate those places.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And so they give me the EFS check, right?
Yep.
And for $100, I go over there, I give it to the lady, pick the load up, and if I remember correctly, I had ran out of hours there. So I slept right outside the gate. All right. Got the next morning, took off. Got up to Cape Girardeau.
Okay.
Parked. Went down and did my thing. Came back. The place where I was delivering this to in Kentucky told me when I said, hey, I got your load. will be there X, blah, blah, blah time. He says, no way. He goes, is that the dark horse load? I said, what? What are you talking about, dark horse? He goes, dark horse, that's a drop and hook, right? You can come anytime you want. I said, no way, they ain't a drop and hook because it's on our company trailer, and I'm sure they don't want me to drop this trailer. He goes, so it's not on a dark horse trailer? I said, no. And he says, well, that should have been loaded on a dark horse trailer. And I said, I don't know what trailer it should have been loaded on. I backed up, they put it on here, and here I am.
Yeah.
And he says, well, you know what? We don't want that load today. I'm booked up. There's no way I can live unload you today. So I just want you to bring it over here to Kentucky Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, that's fine. I said, but what I need you to do is I need you to tell my company that you wanted to do that you're the one that said that, and you need to get all this arranged with them. He said, no problem. He goes, I'll email them right now. I said, okay.
All right.
So,
do you know that he emailed them?
I'm not sure if he did or not. He says he did. And then my company, when I called them and told them, they didn't act surprised that the load was supposed to be delivered Monday. They acted like they knew it.
Okay.
But they didn't tell me directly they knew it. And I said, so hey, you guys want me to just wait here till Monday or till Sunday or whenever, take off? Because I'm only like 200-something miles from Kentucky at that point, right? To take off and go over there and deliver this load Monday morning. I said, I had no problem doing that. And he said, man, just hang on. I'll get back with you.
All right.
I said, okay. All right. So he gets back with me, and he says, we want you to bring that load back to North Carolina. And it didn't take a genius at that point to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. Did you already express to them that you wanted to leave?
I told them, I said, look, man, this is not working out for me. Everything has just been, it's not been the way you said. Everything has just been crazy, and, this ain't going to work out, but I'm not going to just take right off. I said, I will deliver this load, and I will bring your truck back to North Carolina or South Carolina, Glen Mills. Mm-hmm. I will bring a truck back there. I will do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to just walk off this truck right here and abandon your truck and your load and all your stuff. I would never do that.
All right, so you never told them that you're going to leave the truck and abandon it or anything of that nature?
Right, I told him I would never do that, and he said, I appreciate that. He goes, just make sure the reefer's full of fuel and make sure the temperature's good. I said, I know, I have no problem with that. I would do that anyway. And anyway, I'm thinking to myself this whole time, wow, North Carolina. Well, I looked it up, I Googled it, and they're 500 or something miles away from this place, and I'm like, that
right.
Makes no sense, man.
So you're going south to go north at that point.
Exactly. So, I mean, I wasn't dumb. I knew what was going on. And anyways, the reefer was running low on fuel, right? So I pull around at the truck stop I'm at, put my card in. They had turned my fuel card off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really knew what was going on. So I call them and I say, look, man, your reefer's running low on fuel. If you want this load to go bad, the reefer to quit, then I guess you probably need to turn the fuel card back on so I can put some fuel into the reefer. So he says, okay, yeah, no problem. And so they turn it on, right? So I start pumping fuel. And understand now, my truck is low on fuel at this point too. So they start putting, I start putting the fuel into the reefer, and it gets to about, I forgot, it was either 25, 30 gallons, whatever it was, and that's it.
Yeah, enough fuel to keep the reefer running until it needs to get to wherever it needs to go.
Exactly, and I'm like, well, what about putting fuel on my truck? And then there's no answer on the phones.
Was that a common problem?
Wow.
Was that a common problem, being able to reach somebody?
Was it a problem trying to reach somebody?
Yeah.
Yes and no. It was a problem. She gives you her cell phone number, the owner, and if you try to call her, forget it. She would never answer. I don't know why, but she never would. And the other dude, the operation manager guy, I mean, if he didn't answer it, normally he'd call you back within 10 minutes or so, but I mean, I can't say that he didn't answer the phone because he did, but I can say that he did answer the phone a lot because he didn't. But anyways, like I said, I tried to get the fuel. There wasn't no, I couldn't get fuel for my truck, so I called her and no answer. So it goes into the night. Now they start blowing my phone up, and I'm like, look, you told me to bring this load back to North Carolina. I'm trying to get some sleep, and I'm going to bring this load back to you, but this is Friday night. This load delivers Monday. You're telling me to bring it back to North Carolina. I'll be there tomorrow, okay, which is Saturday.
Yeah.
So you got 2 days, basically, till Monday morning to get this from South Carolina, North Carolina to Kentucky, which is only 500 miles. Why you blowing my phone up and not letting me sleep?
Yeah.
Anyways, I kept on. The next morning, okay, when I left the next morning, I took off for Carolina. On the way, I tried to stop and get fuel 3 different times. Fuel card turned off. I call them, no answer. I leave messages, no call me back. So I'm getting to North Carolina, and I'm like, oh my God, man, it's getting down there on E, and it's bouncing on E as I'm getting close, and I'm like, just one more mile, please, man, just one more mile. So then I'm thinking the whole time in my head, yeah, they just want this truck to run out of fuel so they can charge me for that too. Because I knew just from the way they were acting and doing that, I knew they probably wasn't going to pay me. And I told them specifically, I am depending and counting on this pay, man, because you know what? I am broke. I'm very broke. I have been hungry out here on the road. I haven't even ate for the last 2 days because I ask you people for money. You keep telling me, you'll get back with me, you'll get back with me. That dude, that RVT guy,
yeah,
he called me when I was sitting there.
Okay.
And it was really strange because I was like, wait a minute, man. How do you know everything that has went on and I haven't told you anything? That was weird. I hadn't even talked to him about any of that. I didn't even talk to him, period. And then he comes out and says, hey, man, if I can get you $300 or $400, will that get you by? If I can get them to give you $300 or $400. I'm like, how are you? You're just a driver. How are you getting involved in this, and how do you know so much about it?
That's a pretty good question.
I mean, that was weird.
So you hadn't spoken to him. How long had it been since you'd spoken to him?
Okay, I'm just about to get into that.
Okay.
I get there to the yard, park the truck. Reefer's fine. Got 3/4 tank fuel in the reefer. Everything's good. Call him. And I showed you. You got the text.
I do.
Where I texted about my check. Kept getting blown off. I had no way to get home.
Now you're texting Paul, Operation, and Tatiana.
Right.
Okay.
You got the text.
Yep.
You see what I did. And nobody would get back with me. It was over 100 degrees. I knew at this point I'm not getting paid, and I luckily I talked to a friend of mine, and he got me just enough to get back to Florida. They didn't care. I had told them when I was on the road, hey, my van's behind, my car's behind on payments, and it's going to get repossessed, man, if I don't pay this. And they knew this, and I was, depending on the payment out of that check. I even asked them one time, hey, will you look out there and make sure it's still there? Man, we're too busy right now. What? Come on, all you got to do is open the door and look.
You know my ride's still alive.
So, anyways, getting back to your question, I get back, and that RBT dude knew, obviously everything, without me even telling him, he knew.
Okay. So they may have gotten him involved.
I don't know. When I get back, I call him on a number, I don't know, that number that he gives you guys on out there that I've seen is not the number that I had for him.
Okay.
It's a totally different number. I called him, he didn't answer. I called him, he don't answer. I called him, I left a message on his phone, he didn't call me back. I texted him 2 or 3 times. He didn't return my text, and then that's done. I mean, I don't know this guy that well.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I got there and I told him I was there, boy, he got all excited. He was talking about wanting me to do a YouTube channel with him. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and he publicly stated that in 2 of the videos on his channel. So that's how we know who you are. He was actually referred. Yeah, he publicly stated that on 2 videos on his channel. So that's how I know who you are. And context of the story, you were the title of WWE wrestler needs a partner or something.
Right. Yeah, because here's the thing about that company. He's telling me the whole time, you get there, you get the team, blah blah blah. And everybody hears him say that on the videos he made. You come here, team, come here, team. You get there, no, you don't, team. They will tell you, hey, we want to run you 3 or 4 weeks to see what kind of person you are, not to see if you're a hard runner, not to see if you're a bad runner, but to see what kind of person you are and how you run, so we can properly match you with the right person. So you're going to be there a month before they put you with anybody, probably, unless you get lucky and somebody's there on the yard. And he never tells nobody this stuff, right?
Right.
And I didn't know that. I went there specifically to team, and I didn't get to.
Yeah, and it's showing that they're hiring at 75 cents a mile on teams, but you're coming in on a solo for at least a month, so you're making 50 cents a mile.
When you get that the 75-cent thing, maybe they do for teams. I don't know. I know when you get there and you run solo, you're making 50.
Okay.
And they it's ironic because on my check, and you have my check stub, it shows the $200 advance I got.
Yeah.
And I did get that, like I said. And it shows another $100 advance. So it's showing that I got $300, but I never got $300. That $100 is the $100 that I paid that company to be able to pick their load up. So they made me pay to pick their load up because they took that $100 from me.
Now stand by. I'm going to put this on my screen here real quick, and your private information is blocked out. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to put I'm going to put your paycheck right here beside my big dumb head. Let me move myself to the right here. So let's take a look at this. All right. So looking at this, your information is blacked out. All right. So we got a load 5122. It's M&M Berry Farms, Henderson, North Carolina. Delivery to Dallas, Texas, and then you got delivery Dallas. So they're just there's the $100. There's the $200 cash advance as you're saying. Then under that is a cash advance of another $100. That is that you're saying that is the pickup fee.
That I texted you back, emailed you, the $100 receipt.
Yep. And so, that's it. And then underneath that is a late fee of $200.
On a load that they knew was going to be late before it even got going.
Yeah. You had conversed with them, told them that I'm going to Florida, I'm going to the house. This is late. They're like, all right. Never said no. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Right.
Okay. So you did what you told them you were going to do.
Right. And the same thing coming back.
And then we have this never finished load 5144. And drove 1,054 miles to the yard, so they charged you $1,054.
Right.
Yeah, and they told you to come to the yard.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you actually addressed that in your text there, and I'll put.
Exactly.
I have their numbers blocked out, but I do have their text.
And if you notice, I don't know if you missed this, but where's the pay from Dallas to Texarkana?
Yeah, I don't see that here.
I don't either.
I don't see any. Well, you got empty miles. You got 104 miles. Is that no? That was probably the Was that the Henderson?
Right, from Fort Mills to
Henderson.
The Berry place. Henderson.
So there's 104 empty there, and there's nothing from Dallas to Texarkana.
Well, I guess the truck magically just jumped up and flew to Texarkana and picked that load up.
And it looks like you're supposed to be paid 50 cents per empty mile, but you did not get that.
Right, but that's nowhere on there. But I know they forgot to put that on there, but they didn't forget to take that $100 that I had to pay to pick their load up.
Yeah.
I noticed they didn't forget to charge me for that instead of give me that back into my settlement.
What's this pick drop fee? What is that? $15. What is that?
That was because the load to Dallas had 2 drops on it.
Okay, so that was your drops. That was your pay for drops.
Right.
Okay, so they're basically saying that you only made money for the M&M Berry Farms one, and that was to the total of $554. And then and down below, they just canceled out load 5144, took everything there, charged you a late fee, put a cash advance and $100, yep, and that pickup fee that they're calling a cash advance.
Right.
So that makes the grand total of your negative. Well, you didn't get any money, and your negative 1,000. And that says
pay me for from Dallas to Texas.
Right. And what's this escrow deposit not included of negative 250? What's that?
Okay. What they do, and this is what I was told, and I didn't understand that. I was like, why am I paying you $250 a week or whatever it is? That's what you say you're charging me. Why are you taking it out of my check up to $1,000
for their truck?
For me to drive your truck, and I'm not buying this truck. I'm not leasing this truck. I'm just come here to work, and you're paying me $10.99. That's the way I understand it. And I'm not here to buy your truck. I'm not here to lease your truck. I'm just here to drive your truck.
Right.
And you're charging me $250 a week up until I get to $1,000. And then their response to that was, that's because we don't hold the first week check.
All right. Now what I'm showing on the screen now is the receipt for the $100 for the pickup. Okay.
Right.
So I'm just showing that to people right now. And I'm going to show you before that. Let me see here. We'll grab a couple of these and we'll address it here. All right, now I'm showing the text where you had told it. Okay, they're a little bit out of line here, but hold on, give me a second here. All right, when you asked about your check, this would be Tatiana who said, "Too late, sir. You were supposed to leave on the truck, which you never did." What does she mean by that?
The too late, sir, was, I guess, for the pay, and leave on the truck was the bill that, if you see, I took a picture of and sent to them.
Yep.
And that's what they told me to do.
Okay. So, too late, sir. You were supposed to leave on the truck, which you never did, and you stated back that was a load Paul told me to bring back to Charlotte because it wasn't loaded on a Dark Horse trailer and wasn't a drop-and hook, and they didn't want to unload. It's not too. I'm just reading what you said. It's not too late to pay me for the miles from Texarkana back to Charlotte, though. And if you want to keep that 100, that's on you. And we're talking about that receipt up there.
Right.
I just want paid for what I did, so we can be done with each other. Nothing more, and nothing less. But I'm sure.
And that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I just wanted, pay me what you owe me, and we'll part ways.
Okay. And you continue that, but I'm sure you're going to try to find a way. And I love this line. I'm sure you're going to try to find a way, any way you can, not to pay me. At least let me bring this up because my eyes are bad. Good Lord, I'm a mess. I'm clicking all over the place. I just want paid for what I did, so we can be done with each other. Nothing more, nothing less. And I'm sure you're going to try to find any way you can to pay me the least that you can. I know that's coming for sure. I will wait until Thursday, and you can text me a copy of my stub, and that's where we come in with the stub up here, where basically you got nothing plus negative 1,000.
Right, and here's the thing. I did, and when I texted her that, I fully, because of the type people they are, and I mean this as rude as they are, and I'm just going to throw this out there, and I don't give a damn who don't like this, as ignorant as they are, I figured that I would get something. I knew that they were going to do everything they could just from the tone of their voices and the way they acted and not getting back to me. I knew that they were going to probably give me a little something, but I totally did not figure they were going to take everything. And I was like, why did you do that? Where did this number come from? I did what you told me to do, and you're charging me for this. And, here, the bad part about it is, what kind of a human being, and this is the way I felt at the time, what kind of a human being, knowing And I understand drivers all the time probably get in situations with companies and whatever the case may be.
Mm.
And I understand all that, but I mean, knowing, and I put that on my application, that I hadn't worked in that time span because of my wife having cancer.
Mm.
And I'm thinking to myself, you knew this, I told you this, we talked about this. I told you my car was behind on payments, and I really was depending and counting on this check. And instead of you going, you know what, we don't like the guy, let's just go hypothetical. Let's say they were thinking, we don't like the guy, he's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. So, you know what, we don't want him here no more.
Right.
Instead of having that kind of thought and saying, you know what, but we're going to pay him for what he did. Instead
Sure.
of doing that, knowing my situation, they take it a step above and beyond and say, you know what, we're going to screw this guy to the wall because, he can't do nothing about it. He won't do anything about it. He can't even get home. He's probably going to lose his car. And who cares? We got money. We don't care. And, and it's just the fact of we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now, you and I,
Mm-hmm.
if they would have paid me something.
Yeah, just something. So
Something. I mean, and when I say something, I don't mean 40, 50 bucks. I'm talking about, if they just paid me half of that or whatever. I mean, we probably at that point wouldn't even be having this conversation. But when I got that check stub and it was negative, I owed them.
yeah,
And I'm thinking, my God, man. And then I thought about it and thought, and I paid for your load for me to pick up?
you sure did.
Are you kidding me? I mean, people, come on now. There's a point. I mean, and here's, and maybe I shouldn't feel this way. I guess, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't blame the RVT guy. I do, but I don't. Okay. I mean, yes, I could have walked away but been stranded. I cannot stand, and I don't care who hears this either, him or anybody else. I don't care. Understand that. I can't stand the way this dude gets on his YouTube and brags about how much he makes. And yes, it is bragging. I don't care what you say or what you think. He's bragging about it. I didn't get on TV and stand in the middle of the ring and stand there and tell, hey, people, I make blah, blah, blah. Sorry. I never done that. Why is he doing that? Number one. Number two, he never shows, if you ever watch, he never shows us check stuff. So, you just have to take him at face value. And then he'll sit there with a smug smile on his face, telling everybody how great this company is and how they run his face off, which I'm sure they do. Okay? And how good they are and how much money he makes. And knowing that you're walking into a position that you are where you're going to have to sign his contract, he does never come out and say, hey, man, when you get there, understand, you're going to have to sign this contract that has a fee for this, a fine for this, a fine for this, a fine for this. If you're going to promote somebody, don't promote half of it. Throw it all out there on the table, man. Don't just sit there and then with some smirk little smile act like it's so good when you know that when you get there, how bad you're going to get screwed over. And that's what it is. When you get there, it's just a matter of time. I mean, I don't know what he's doing with them. It's none of my business what he's doing with them. I have never really disliked or liked him. Okay. I don't know him that well. I try to make it a practice not to like or dislike anybody. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what. That experience really made me gun shy on even trying to get another trucking job right as soon as I left there, because I'm thinking to myself, wow, man, what if this happens again? Where will I be then? And then when I seen, and I didn't know, when I seen what you did and what all the trucking community, man, all the people on YouTube, I didn't have a word. It blew me away. I mean, I'm choking up right now thinking about it, and I can't thank everybody enough, and I don't deserve that.
Who ratted us out? Who ratted us out? Who ratted us out last night?
Loshawn
Loshawn.
called me or he texted me about 4 o'clock. You know, because we had that storm last night,
Yeah.
and my power was going out, and I think I was, matter of fact, in a conversation with you all, and my power was going on and off, and my phone was about to die. I had plugged it in, and it beeped when I guess my power came back on. I fell asleep, and it was him. And, man, I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know y'all were doing that. And I don't know. I mean, you know, and the thing about it with me is, if anything comes out of this, I just hope that they don't get away with doing what they did to me, to anybody else, any other driver. I mean, because, you know, I'm not a little guy by any means, and I was in a career that, it was a pretty rough career. It was a rough life. And honestly, yeah, people, there was better fights probably in the dressing room than there was in the ring sometimes, okay? But you got to understand, you're trusting this person with your life in that ring. It's like playing professional football without pads in that ring. And when you get some 300-pound steroid freak that's on cocaine throwing a clothesline at you, trust me, you better know what you're doing or you're going to get your neck broke. And, you know, getting back to that, I could have walked in there and probably got really ignorant.
True.
And probably got pretty physical. That's what I wanted to do. And they'd have probably had to call the National Guard on me. But that's not what I chose to do. I chose to be the bigger man and just walk off and say, you know what? And I told them, YouTube is my friend too. I can put this out there on YouTube, and, you know, at least people will know about you, because that was, to me, that's awful. That is awful, what you did. I mean, knowing my circumstances, and you done that. You went ahead and did it and didn't care. And, you know, they didn't even bother calling me back, man. They wouldn't answer the phone for me. I was sitting right there on that yard. They wouldn't answer the phone for me, wouldn't call me back, wouldn't nothing. Now, I mean, if you're not going to pay me, if you're man enough not to pay me, be man enough to call me back and tell me that.
Yeah.
Be man enough to come up to me and tell me that. That's fine. We can walk off, and we'll go on from there. But you don't have somebody work for you, like them or not, and not pay them, regardless of their circumstance. It doesn't matter.
Now, you said you had to get yourself home. I'm actually going 2 conversations here. Red Viking offered you some financial help, and then you got
I
the
was
yard.
telling him I appreciate it. Red Viking offered me some financial help.
You said he offered you some money or something of that nature.
No, here's what he done. He said he would, if he could get them to give me $300 or $400, would that help me out?
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay.
No, he never offered me anything but a promise and a drink.
Okay. You could not get a hold of them. So how did you get yourself home?
Do I know?
How did you get yourself back to the house?
I had a buddy of mine. I called him. I said, look, man, I'm stuck up here. Is there any way can I borrow enough money just to get home on it? He had enough money to get me home. And I got home.
Okay.
And then my car got repoed.
Yeah. When you run out of time, you run out of time. God, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it was no more time. And, you know, the sorry part about it is my wife still goes, and she gets she has to go every so often. I get like once a month for one thing, and then once a month for another thing. So it's like every month she has to go to the doctor and make sure the cancer's not coming back. She has to go do that, drink that dye stuff or whatever it is that they put through her and all that. Yeah, and do blood work and get checks and all that stuff. I mean, because she went through all the chemo, and they got it contained or whatever. And
she's in remission.
Now, right, and now they're just making sure that it's not coming back. It could come back, but I mean, God hope it don't. But and that's why she has to go with these appointments. And I can't get her back and forth to these appointments now, man, because I lost my ride.
I think we're going to be able to help you a little bit with that.
And I just, that's, again, I go thinking about that, and I don't have the words. I mean, it's just like...
Is she home?
The trucking business is so strange to me because, I went from one end of the spectrum with that company and how they were to this end. It's like two different books. I mean, gosh, it's just I can't thank everybody enough. I wish there was something I could do.
Is your wife home right now?
Man.
Is she available?
Say again?
Is your wife available?
Is she available?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me see. Yeah, hang on.
What's her name?
Jan?
All right, cool. We're going to talk to Jan.
Hello?
Hi, Jan. How are you doing?
I'm good. Who's this?
My name is Joseph Cannell. I'm one of those weird YouTube trucking guys on the internets.
Oh, yeah, you're the one that's helping us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm one of about, where's that list? Oh, probably about 140.
That's awesome. Can't believe everybody did that for us.
Yeah. Did Larry, did he show you that text this morning that I sent him?
Did you show me a text this morning? I don't remember seeing one.
Okay.
No, I guess I was asleep.
Okay. Well, Jan, as of the text I sent him this morning, because people ratted us out last night, Sean, we've raised over $5,642 for you.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. You don't know the relief I feel. The stress of just the money with the illness has just been awful. I mean awful. That brings me to tears. I can't believe people would do that for us.
Yes, ma'am. Now there'll be a little bit more than that, but that's my last count as of making this video. And all the other guys, all the other YouTubers, and some other people have that number, and it will go up a little bit. We're not going to run like a marathon forever here. I actually have stuff I got to do. But yeah, so Larry can show you that number.
Crazy. I'm just in shock. I just can't believe people would reach out and help us like that. It's
Yes,
just
ma'am.
a blessing. It really is.
Well,
You have no idea.
Well, the fellows here on the internet's put into work, and the trucking community said, yeah, we're going to give you guys a little bit of a helping hand here. You know.
Oh my Lord, you have no idea how much we needed it. I mean, I'm just in tears. It's just crazy. You don't know how much that's really going to help us.
Well, we hope it puts you guys in a good place.
Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And as soon as everything's rallied up and put in one place, I'll send you guys a personal check. I will and get that over to you.
It's amazing. I can't believe it.
Yes.
I'm worried about our electric. I was worried about our water. We just got our fan repoed. I mean, everything was falling down around our ears, and he tries to go to work and leaves me at home, and then...
Jan, don't make me cry.
It's just awful.
Don't make me cry.
I'm sorry.
I'm a big bad YouTuber. Don't make me cry.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna put my husband back on.
Well, I'm crying now, Jan. You might as well stick around.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. You don't know the relief I feel. I mean, I really do appreciate it no more. You can imagine. I can't believe it.
Yes, ma'am.
That the truckers would come together to help us like that. It's just awesome. And it's just horrible the way these companies treat their drivers. It is.
Oh boy, I'm gonna start tearing and just losing it. Yeah, we're gonna get your story out, and we're certainly gonna get this check to you.
Well, I really, really appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome.
I just wondered, I have an appointment next week that I gotta go to. I wasn't even sure how I was gonna get there.
I'll make sure I get this check to you before next week then.
Well, thank you so much.
If nothing else, you can Uber it.
I can't believe you did that for us.
Not me. It was everyone.
That just amazes me.
There was a whole lot of people involved in this.
Well, it's amazing. It's wild. I just can't believe it. I mean, I'm old school. I'm not all into the tech stuff and all that, and so I had no idea. I mean, my husband said, there's a guy that's going to help us on YouTube, but I didn't know what he was really talking about, you know what I mean? I don't follow that stuff. I don't have much energy, to be honest with you. So.
Yes, ma'am.
But I can't believe that you got our story out. That's just amazing. I mean, those people need to be held accountable for the way they treat their drivers and the way they do people, because I know we're not the only one that's been in this situation before, you know?
It honestly is a industry problem. It's not just one company, and it'll start with really talking about one company and then talking about another and another and another.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
It does.
It happens all the time, and it's horrible the way they do people. And then like, you know, if one of your, like your spouse is sick or whatever, oh no, you can't go home. You know, well, sorry, but I happen to need my husband. You know.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's just crazy. But I really, really appreciate it. And God bless you for doing such a wonderful thing. I'm
Well,
sure he'll pay it forward.
that's all we ask. That's all any of us ask.
All
Pay it
right, well,
forward.
here's my husband. Thanks again.
Thank you, Miss Jan.
Hello?
Thanks, Larry. Now I'm crying.
Man, you got me tearing up. She's bawling, and that just made me tear up.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, you know, it's just like, I just can't believe everybody came together and did that for us. I mean, it's like she was telling me a while ago, right before when I told her about it, you know, and I never showed her the text because she was been asleep. She sleeps a lot. I guess maybe has to do with that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it takes it out of you.
She was like, you know, this is crazy. I guess karma, maybe. I don't know. I did a lot of Make-A-Wish stuff when I was wrestling for kids that needed it, and I visited a lot of hospitals and seen a lot of people and went to nursing homes and visited people, and I guess maybe it's karma coming back. I don't know. It just blew me out of the water, and I never expected that. I never thought that. Only thing I wanted, like I said, was to make sure them people never got a chance to do it to nobody else, and that maybe there was a chance I would get something. I never expected to even get my money from them. I thought maybe I might get something from them, but you know, I was hoping I'd get something, but I didn't know that. Wow.
Well, we got you. We got you covered for at least for a little while.
Got me. I can't believe it.
Well, at least we got to surprise Jan. No thanks to LaShawn.
Oh my God, she's at a loss. And I'm at a loss. Wow. You know, and anybody ever comes up to me against that truckers won't stick together, I'm gonna tell them they're full of shit. Because they do, you know.
Yes, sir.
Like in wrestling, man, it's a brotherhood, and I'm gonna tell you, if we don't take care of us, who will?
Yes, sir.
And obviously the companies won't.
Yeah. I'm gonna put your story up, and that's a great way to say thank you, and it's a great way to get the message out and get the word out. You know.
Well, I appreciate
people are calling.
everything you've done, everything everybody else done. Man, God bless everybody out there. I hope everybody has a safe day, safe week, safe month, safe year. And I wish there was some way I could repay everybody. I really do.
Just what Jan said. Pay it forward.
Hey, I always do, it seems like.
And sure.
But I appreciate everything you all, and I really appreciate you putting that out there so everybody knows what kind of people they are. And I guess the golden rule out of this was be careful who you watch on YouTube and believe. Because, I mean, that guy, I mean, maybe they got him, you know, confused or something. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how you can sit there on, like I said, on YouTube and grin, and smile, and tell everybody all this, and down everybody else, man. And you know what you're telling these people to walk into. How can you do that? But that, you know, that's what kind of guy he is. That's what kind of guy he is. It's none of my business. Like I said, I don't know him well enough to dislike him. I don't know him well enough to like him. And, you know,
That's fair enough.
He is what he is. They are what they are. And I don't know, man. I just don't know what else to say. I mean, I told you from step one to from A to Z, and that's what happened to me.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story, and I will most certainly, I will update you on the total. That last total was as of this morning. I'll give you another total, and we're going to wind that down, and that way the funds can come in. I can transfer it to my bank, stroke you a check, and get it down to you, okay?
Oh, man, I greatly appreciate it. All right, I appreciate it, and it was great talking to you. And, again, thanks to everybody out there. You have no idea what you've done for us.
I think they're very appreciative of the fact that you were willing to tell your story.
Hey, anytime. I mean, you know, it's the truth. That's exactly what happened,
Right.
step by step.
Thank you very much, Larry. You and
Hey, I
Jam have a
appreciate
good
it.
day, bud.
All right, man, have a good one.
All right. Let's talk
Bye-bye.
later.